Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirits. Welcome home. This reading is going to be about the eclipse that is happening tomorrow as I am filming this. And this has been a really strange eclipse energy for me because sometimes I can't film during eclipse tunnels, let's say, eclipse seasons, because the energy, there's something like blocking the energy for me. But this time it's quite different because I feel almost the same kind of block, but it's more like we need to unplug something and plug it again to see if it works. So it is kind of a reinvention that is happening. And there's a lot of things that are now beginning, which is interesting. So this eclipse is triggering a lot of new beginnings. I am seeing a lot of like new ideas, reaching large groups of people very fast and impacting society in general, or very large social circles that I tend to just observe and I want to maybe also be a part of. So this is also something that might be in the collective. So everybody's coming together, but in different ways. So we're finding different groups and different identities, different modes of being and ways of dialogue. And that's very interesting. It feels like the age of social media is changing. So or something is changing in the social social fabric that is pushing people to be creative, to both reinvent social media, but also to reinvent social connection. And I find this very, very interesting. And I also feel like it's something that's impacting a lot of different age groups. So it's not just younger generations or, more or a specific generation. It feels like it's impacting all of the different age groups. So I'm very curious. But the feeling that I got is that we need to surprise ourselves. And there's a lot of also Uranus action in this eclipse. So there's tension there. So there's this kind of mysterious impulse, like there's a curiosity, and there's this discovery energy. So I felt like I should just emit any sort of message except for the zodiacs, as I usually do. So we have the piles here suggested just with the zodiacs. And I feel like I wanted to explore the collective impact of each one of the piles with the collective. So I am going to now choose a card with you for each one of the piles. Okay. For the first pile, we have barque, or the boat. For the second pile, we have Nefertiti. And for the third pile, we have Obelisk. Okay, so the signs for the first pile are Taurus, Gemini, Capricorn, Leo. For the second pile, we have Aquarius, Scorpio, Virgo, and Sagittarius. And for the third pile, we have Pisces, Cancer, Aries, and Libra. Okay, so I will now give you a moment for you to choose your pile using the cards, the zodiac signs, or just your intuition. I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1, your card is the boat or Bach. And this card has a bit of a negative feeling to it. It represents some kind of lie and deceit, obfuscation. So I feel like this is the energy around. I feel like it's around you. Are you a part of it, or are you being sucked into it? It's like there's this movement in the card that seems like you're being sucked into a situation. The energy isn't clear. It's like you have the tracing on the drawing, but it's like the color spills out of the boundaries. So there's this fuzzy boundary, undefined. And the colors are also very like a grayish, kind of muddy. So it's a kind of an unfairness too, because we also have the scales of justice or something karmic. Okay. We have the oak men. So yeah, there's this feeling of something I did before, something from the past coming back. Spirit dancer and she of the Cruach. So it's not that bad. It's something that you can break free from, and that you can, it feels like the wisdom you get from it is actually very beneficial. And even if you're being sucked into a situation, it is your right, your divine right to leave it whenever you want. You're still free. Okay. Okay. So you have Mars in Virgo with criticism. Okay. Something is pushing you. It's like something is drawing you out or drawing you away or pushing you somewhere. It's like you're being pushed into something. So Venus in Gemini with flattery. Convinced, maybe? Mercury in Sagittarius with discovery. Sun in Libra with harmony. And Mercury in Aquarius with originality. Moon in Sagittarius with optimism. Interesting. Okay. So let's see. What else do we have? Whoa. Okay. It's very kind of clumsy energy that I'm feeling, like stumbling through something. Great happiness, expectation, living room, good lady, and good gentleman. Wow. It's very interesting. This combination here, this couple, good lady and good gentleman. Who are these people? I feel like this is people in your life. And it feels comfortable. Sorry. It feels comfortable. It feels like it's like helpful connections. And it seems very beneficial. But you're being sucked into something, into a drama, maybe, into an interaction that maybe you don't find, or someone is judging someone else. But it's like, it's not that bad, but it seems like there's some kind of obfuscation or lying. And it's not that bad. The message that I'm getting is like, it's really not that bad. It's not that serious. 6 of Cups. Very nice. Very positive. Something from the past that's actually not that bad. 3 of Pentacles. And the Queen of Wands. It doesn't really seem that bad. Where is this taking you? Temperance. And these two, they want to come out together. The Chariot and the 7 of Pentacles. It's good. It seems really good. It doesn't really match the boat here. The whole reading is quite positive. Let me think about it for a second. So it's like you're being awarded a victory because of your patience, because of your ability to wait for the right time for something. You're being awarded a victory. It's like you're being crowned, and you're being protected because of a lie. So it's like a crooked path that turns into the straight and narrow to the divine. It turns into a divine path. Something that was crooked turns into a divine path. And it's because of some kind of lie or obfuscation or omission or confusion. You're freeing yourself from confusion. And you're being awarded and protected because of that. It's very positive reading. The Wheel of Fortune. And it's even like collectively, there's something in the collective that is helping you with this, that is supporting you. Ace of Pentacles. The Devil. Right. So there was some kind of interference here. 10 of Swords. The Moon. And the 9 of Swords. Wow. So it's like you need to face to deal with some kind of darkness or obscurity. And that's why something from the past is coming back. some kind of lie. Now, I am not sure yet if it's a lie that you were creating. It's like you were part of a lie. You were being sucked into a lie. You were being sucked into a way of being that obscures. And now things are clearing, but there was some kind of revelation from the past, or there's some kind of revelation that is happening now that is meant to free you from something from the past. And it is your participation, whether it was intentional or not, in some kind of lie. But everything is taking you to a path that is beautiful, that is bright, that has a lot of rewards, that is, and triumphs and victories for you. And that's why this doesn't belong anymore. It seems like you're also balancing some kind of insincere relationship with really positive developments in your life. So it's like you're going one way and this relationship is going in the other way, in the opposite way. It's really not gelling. It's really not the same vibe at all. And I think that that's why you have to deal with this kind of anxiety and nightmarish mental environment. So right now, this is happening because you're supposed to be protected, but that's not how you feel. So maybe this reading comes to you so that you understand that you are indeed protected, or although you might have felt that you weren't because of some kind of situation from the past, you didn't feel protected. And now you're maybe not used to that sensation, but you are. And although there might be people who are judging you and who are criticizing you, it really does not matter here. It really doesn't, because you are completely protected. And if you understood more about this kind of protection, maybe you would also integrate it into your psyche, because there's this kind of mismatch here between what is truly happening in your life, which is, it looks really great. It looks like you're getting a lot of beautiful gifts, and you're also being honored for your character, for your patience, for your wisdom. It seems really well integrated, except for this one strange insincere connection. So it might be that you're not sure what happened, you're not sure what to think. It can be very foundational in your psyche. Maybe you're unsure how to integrate something in your life. But it is true that you have done a lot of work and that you have discovered beautiful pathways for you. Like you have your it's like your path is super clear. It's very illuminated. It seems like it's very well illuminated, and it has all the characteristics that would give you happiness, that would give you fulfillment, and also very structured fulfillment and happiness. It's not something that just fades with time or something like that. With temperance here, it seems like it's real healing. It's very structural, and it's very detailed. And you have the Chariot, so it's triumph, it's victory, it's really overcoming the obstacles, the devil here. So you face this devil, but still you're very anxious. And I feel like it's because of some insincere connection, some kind of lie. Maybe it's a lie that you're part of with someone. Maybe you participated in a lie inadvertently, or you just got sucked into a situation, without having any choice in the matter. It doesn't seem like you had any choice. You just were there. It just happened. And still, you're protected and guided, and you should continue down that path of healing and recovery and triumph and celebration. Continue along that path, because it will reinforce that happiness and fulfillment for you. It will strengthen the relationship with truth, if that's also one of the things that could help you move away from this. Because this is the advice here. 10 of Swords, the Moon, 9 of Swords. It's ending the relationship with insincerity and fear and dishonesty. It's also about, I feel like it's also about maybe someone who worries a lot about how things look instead of how things really are to the core. So there's no real connection to the core of things here. And the essence. But if you have a strong relationship with what is essential, this ends. And I feel like that's what's supposed to happen here. This doesn't matter. You have the choice. This is also one of the big themes in this reading, is your choice. You have the freedom to choose, and no one can ever take that away from you. Even, very judgmental people, it's like you fear the judgment of someone. Like you fear the judgment of God or the divine. So, but that's not, that is kind of a projection. Like you project some characteristics of the divine onto someone, and their judgment is really very hurtful, because there was no relationship, because they themselves have no relationship with the divine. Everything is very relative to the opinion, especially, it's relative to the opinion of other people. So it's all about how things look. It's all about the twisting of language and how things look, the appearance of things. And you know how we say the devil is a liar? It's how he operates. So distancing yourself from that kind of operation requires you to have very strong, I wouldn't say it's not exactly certainties, but it is the faith in the healing power of truth and in authentic connections. Because with the Temperance card here, Temperance is also a card of connections, of relationships. It's the moment of connection between the two cups, when the fluid is falling from one cup to another. It's the transmission, it's the connection, it's the middle, right? It's what happens in between. So I feel like you also need to focus on that more, like what is happening between people. How is the transmission of information going? How is that flow going? Because temperance is also about the flow of information. So how is that flow going? Is it clear? Is the fluid clear? Is it translucent? Does it have the least amount of noise, the least amount of dirt, let's say? Are people really making an effort to be clear, to be pure, to not obfuscate, to not lie? And if not, it seems like you have to end the conversation. Like if that's not happening, then I'm moving away and I am doing things that really matter. I am not giving this the time of day. Like, because that flow is also attention. It requires attention. The flow requires attention. And if you give attention to lies and deceit, it fuels anxiety. So don't, if it really feels like it's not going anywhere, just go do something practical. Go focus on something that moves you forward. And also cleanse, because temperance is also purifying yourself. And that's, the Seven of Pentacles here is a lot, to me today, is really a lot about the crown chakra specifically. So it's having the connection to the divine, your connection to the divine connections, nurturing divine connections. So if you feel confused and if you feel anxious and if you feel like you're not getting to the truth of the matter because someone is lying or there's some kind of obfuscation, and maybe you're really touching on memories from the past and it's really hard to put a finger on it because it's something that was very structural for you, maybe very, very early childhood. Focusing on the connection with the divine is going to help you purify your mind too. So for some of you, it might be meditation. For some of you, it might be prayer, mantra. There's something about speaking and words and the flow of words and finding truth in words instead of lies. So maybe focusing on words, focusing on affirmations. But I don't think it's the written word that's very helpful. It feels more like the sounds of words in your mind. Even in silence, just focusing on how words sound in your mind. When you feel confused and when you feel like you have to end, like you ended a conversation that was very confusing and now you need to clear your mind, mantra and prayer or some kind of routine with words that move you closer to the divine and get you in this connection and alignment with God, the divine, the purest form of truth. It's going to be very, very helpful. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2. Your card is Nefertiti, and this indicates the presence of a woman or a feminine presence, and how it's affecting you. It depends on the rest of the cards. So let's see, what is this? Whoa, what is this feminine energy about for you? Okay, these two. Right. So let's see. Singer of Courage. The Singer of Healing. Honesty. And the fairy who was kissed by the pixies. Beautiful. Wow, this seems to be a very, very beneficial energy, very loving, very loving. And it's putting you in a situation of receiving a lot of love from everyone around you. And it's quite a blessed, auspicious place to be. So that's a beautiful start. Let's see what else comes up for you. What is happening here? Okay. Mars in Taurus with defense. Saturn in Gemini with concentration. Venus in Aquarius with detachment. Moon in Aquarius with independence. And Mercury in Leo with drama. So, okay, do we have something else for pile number 2 regarding this eclipse season? So we have house, grief and adversity, main person, okay, and good gentleman. So it feels like you're getting help from someone specific. And I feel like this pile is about also the characterization of someone specific in your life. It's interesting that I get this feeling that the collective is really finding solutions for relationships, and it got very close. It's something close, something very close to you, close to your heart, someone you hold very dear. And maybe there was some kind of disagreement before. I feel like it was someone with whom you cohabitated, like you shared a home or you shared a space. You felt at home with that person. That might also be the case, but there's something affecting the relationship, and it might be something affecting that person that ends up affecting you, because it's actually a very loving environment. It feels like very comfortable, very loving environment. But maybe they're facing some kind of challenge in life, like in some kind of health challenge, for instance, or they're facing something that requires courage. There is some kind of need to individuate from what's happening, so that you can nurture the relationship in a positive way. Sorry for the noise, there's a lot of construction going on always. 10 of Staves. Someone is going through something that's very, very hard. It's quite it's like unbearable. I felt like, oh, this is unbearable. I can't stand this anymore. But it's not something that was done by someone else. It seems like just a challenge. Like it can be a health issue. It can be some kind of a worry of sorts with a situation that is, maybe out of the control, out of their control. But I feel like you're not exactly a part of it. Like you can detach, and you have your own independence, and maybe you even like you should defend yourself from this drama. You should put yourself in a different position so you can help them. And they can also help you. Because maybe this challenge is really putting a lot of strain in the environment around you. But it's also requiring everyone to be more, how do I say this? Like say a lot with few words. Like don't waste time, which is a positive outcome. But it's just the emotions that are triggered by the situation might be a bit harsh. 3 of Cups. But yeah, sustaining that, nourishing the connection is the most important thing. Is that you keep connecting. 5 of Swords. Even though it might be hard sometimes. Because maybe you will also find another person that can help you with this, that's going to help them. Ace of Staves. And they're going to do something about it. 9 of Cups. Yeah. And it's going to bring a lot of happiness to everyone in the situation. This reading is very straightforward to me. It's like being a part of a family or a group that might be going through a challenge. It doesn't seem like it's anything like evil, like someone is intentionally doing anything evil. It's just the challenges of life. Some kind of adversity. It might be a health issue. It might be just sorting something out together that needs more attention. It's kind of, it might be a bit draining, and it might be difficult to go through this because sometimes there are setbacks, and so it might be a process of sorts that you have to deal with the frustration that things are not, going always at the pace and rhythm that we want them to. And it seems like detaching from this sometimes, it's not that you don't love the people anymore. It's not that you don't know what they're going through, but try and see if you can balance some sort of emotional detachment with the continuation of the connection, with the flow, keeping the flow alive, keeping the energy and the presence, but with a more detached sense, with more individuality. King of Swords. 4 of Swords. And Sacrifice with Kuan Yin. Yeah, and letting go of the small things, not sweating the small things, and also resting. So making sure that everyone is resting as well as you, because it seems like it's tiring you, and it might also have some kind of impact on your own health if you don't rest, and if you don't give away the small things, sacrifice the small things. And because help is on the way. And with the fairy who is kissed by the pixies, it's really reassuring you that help is on the way. At least one person is going to be very important in this process. They're going to intervene. They're going to give you something important at the right time. They're going to do something about it. They're going to be a presence. They're going to be present too. But everything around you is kind of rearranging, and there's help. There's more than one person, actually. There's help, and then there's this one. It looks like a masculine energy that comes in to help you. Okay, so this one, 4 of staves, and these two. So Princess of Staves and tradition with Juno, and this is the Hierophant. The 4 of Staves with the Hierophant sometimes means marriage, but it can be something like, you know, with the Princess of Staves here, it seems like the energy of family, like tradition, the traditional core family, the first building blocks of the family, the beating heart of the family, being the beating heart of the family, creating a new family, establishing a family. These are all possibilities here. It's like this person, this good gentleman, also has that energy of family, like the safety of family. But because it has something to do with the inception moment, the creation moment of family, this might be someone who is related, like blood related. There's a blood relation or not. Something is being structured, born, let's say, like a new family member, maybe there's a new family member coming. That might also be incredibly healing. If it's not that, it can be like a new opportunity in this group of people, this family, this group of friends, because this is a friendly energy. This is a friendly, loving group. It's just that this group needs a little bit more. So a member of this group is needing help. So the group is rearranging. The structure and the energies are changing and adapting so that the group can be healed. And maybe there are also some changes in the roles people used to play in this dynamic. So maybe people are coming of age, or there's more responsibility. There's some kind of rite of passage with the 4 of staves, like a ritual. Can be marriage. It can be, you know, some kind of rite of passage, like a transition. And the roles are changing, like there's more responsibility, and maybe other members can now also rest because someone is taking over, and it's allowing someone to rest or allowing someone to heal. So also becoming detached from your own role in that dynamic so that you can adjust to the new reality. It is also very, very helpful here, and healing. It reduces drama too. It reduces friction and that sense of, not, with the Five of Swords here, not being able to do something. Like, I'm trying so hard, but it's not working. Why is it not working? We're here together. Everything's fine, apparently. But with the Ten of Staves, not so much. Something is, coming to an end, and it needs to be refreshed. It needs to be reconsidered, reframed. So a new dynamic is being born. So that's the advice here, is also to focus on that new dynamic, to focus more on the future, on the rainbow. Focus on the future. Focus on a vision for the future that is practical and that is and it comes naturally to everyone involved. And also you being more independent and emotionally detached. Sometimes it's actually much easier for the love to flow, for the small things not to get in the way, so that the small things don't get in the way. Because it feels like the drama is like the small things, the kind of the texture of the daily and the mundane. Sometimes it creates a lot of noise, and it creates a lot of little hindrances, and it seems like it's more apparent than fundamental. It's just more the surface things, because deeply, in a deeper aspect, there's a lot of structure here, and also potential to the creation of new structures that are quite solid and that can bring a lot of like future timelines. They attract future timelines, like a lot of opportunities to create different things. A lot of possibilities come out of this dynamic. So if it seems like there's some kind of like tiredness now, or like someone is fed up with something, someone is really feels defeated about what's happening, don't worry, because it will pass. This is something that will pass, and it will create a structure that can endure and that can hold a lot of love for you. And also people love you. It feels like people love you. And sometimes you may not notice that too much because you're so, like, you're tired of the small things. So it's maybe it's time to be more receptive to that. And it happens, you're more receptive to that if you play a different role in this situation. So maybe consider a different role in this family or friendship dynamic. Okay, thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3, your card is Obelisk. And there's something about ambition, like wanting to strive for something, to get something, to tower above, or to go beyond, to go higher. Okay, so let's see, what else do we have? Okay, for pile number 3, friends, the friends, actually. The friends, Ilp the Retriever, the Lady of the Harvest, and tighten the sylph. Interesting combination. So there's this pathway upward, and it seems like a friend or an energy is elevating you, and you're also getting something back. The retriever and the harvest. So it's getting the results of something, getting something back. And tighten the sylph is energy, it's electricity. It's getting like a jolt. But it's also about mental energy, so it's electricity, it's ideas, being inspired, motivated. Okay. But I guess there's something here about psychic energy too, because the obelisk to me is also about like the transmission of energy. You see like the tips of the obelisks, they're kind of emanating some kind of, they're emitting energy, they're emitting a signal, and it seems like you're receiving a signal. So you have emitted something, and now you're getting the answer, you're getting the response from that, and you're getting ideas, it's like you're being given this like tsunami of ideas and novelty from the psychic realm, from the mental plane. Mars in Scorpio with revenge. Mars in Pisces with escape. Moon in Scorpio with power. Mercury in Aries with restlessness. This is the Titan, the sylph energy. Moon in Sagittarius with optimism. I feel like you're getting straight into something. Like, I'm so excited to do this finally. Like, I have the ideas, I have the help, I have the concepts, I have what I need. I got something back, or I got the answer that I needed. So now I can move forward. I'm so excited. I'm motivated. And Saturn in Aquarius with eccentricity. So this might come in a way that will surprise you. But it also can be about new ideas, like experimenting with new ways of doing things, having new ideas, being inspired. Good lady. Also with the Lady of the Harvest here, good lady. Something quite similar. Harvesting, getting something from nature too, or something natural. It's like the natural resolution of something. Something gets solved naturally. Okay, marriage card. It's something resolves itself in a surprising way. Wow, main person. So I feel like you're getting a message, or you got a message that solved the situation for you naturally. And now that you got that message, you can do something different. You can start something different. You can finally experiment with a lot of the ideas that you've been playing around with. Something gives you the opportunity. It's about timing too. So now is the right time to experiment, because you got that it's like an okay, like, okay, you can go, you're fine, you can move forward, you will get this very, very soon. If you haven't gotten this already and you're not in that action mode, this reading is telling you like the wait is over. You'll be in action mode very, very soon, and everything will fall into place very, very quickly. And the rhythm, wow, look at that. Princess of Wands. This is fast and furious. So the rhythm, the pace is going to change. Everything is going to be quicker and move forward very, very suddenly. And you'll be maybe surprised with how it's going. It's going to feel very powerful. It's going to be like a surge of electricity for you. And it's going to motivate you. Very interesting. Three of Wands. And yeah, you know what this is about. If this reading is for you, you're very in the thick of it. Like you're with your hands on this already, and you're ready. Like you're just waiting for something to shift, to tip, the momentum forward, and you're getting it. Six of Wands. Wow. And it's a victory. It feels really good. So this is also, I feel like it's something that will make you feel like you have much more confidence, and it will, give you all these good like hormones, let's say, of that dopamine, that but it's something natural. It seems like it's like you got the answer that you needed, and you got that surge, hormonal surge, let's say. And there are a lot of hormones that I don't know the names, so, but I'm just trying to translate this into the more layman's terms, like that happiness, that that thrill of the victory, of like, I did it, I am the person who did this. I'm proud of myself, but I'm feeling like I can do so much more. So it gives you that boost of confidence that you can do things. Wow. Ace of Wands. Yeah, and you will do. Look at that. This is initiative. This is like, I can do this. I'm going for it. I am confident. I'm just going for it. I am the one. Like, I am the person who's going to do this. Even if I'm the only one, eccentricity. I don't care about, the judgment of others. I am just moving forward. I am going along with this. Yeah. I'm trusting myself. Wow. Your inner voice too. You're trusting your intuition. High Priestess. Trusting your intuition and going for it. So this is the ambition also. There's some kind of confirmation of your ambitions here with the Lady of the Harvest too. Like, you're finally getting the things that you deserve. And in some cases for you, it might be revenge. So you might be seeing how you are going to be vindicated in some kind of situation. And with the marriage card here, it might be something that involves like documents, because marriage card can be also about documents. I'm not seeing the marriage, this is not a romantic reading. It doesn't mean that you don't have romance in your life. This is just not the focus here, but it's much more on like the helpful energy that is giving, like trusting. People will trust you also. You're getting the trust from people. They want you to move forward too. They also believe in you. You believe in yourself, and they also believe in you, although that's not important anymore for this situation, at least for now. The Queen of Pentacles And the Knight of Pentacles. Wow. It's like this is for real. It's what I'm listening. It's what I'm hearing. 5 of Wands. And it might mean that there's some kind of conflict, like you're facing someone or something. With the revenge here, it's like I'm doing this. I'm facing this. I don't care. I'm listening to my intuition, and I know I can win this. Like I know I can overcome this, and I know I'm strong, and I know I can win. Wow. And it's not like you haven't worked for this. This is something that you've worked very hard for. So it's legitimate, and it's something that you deserve. You get something that you deserve. The Prince of Swords. The 5 of Swords. And the 7 of Pentacles. Look at that. And this is the advice. How crazy is that? Like, the advice is the exact, not the exact, but it's almost the opposite of everything else that's happening. Why is that? There's one other card here. Okay, the Knight of Cups. Okay, wait a minute. Let me think about this. I feel like this part of the reading is telling you to not lose your composure in the final stages of this situation. If this is a very clear match to what you're experiencing, this is a very specific situation where you're really fighting something that is clearly identified. There's some kind of competition, or there's some kind of wrongdoing that you're trying to correct. You've worked very hard for this. You've waited, but I feel like in the final stages of this, you need to keep your composure, and to also be very cunning and strategic, and to not reveal everything at once, because I feel like maybe that's very tempting, because it's like you see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you're like, I can do this, I got this, I am going for it. And as you are doing it, you can do it, but there's something about keeping some kind of calm, like, appearance, and still doing the eccentric thing, even with a very calm composure, and a very control, like controlling your emotions in a very healthy way, of course, like knowing your emotions very well and navigating them very well, so that you can, it's a smooth sailing, and not this burst. And I feel like if you're very enthusiastic, when it goes down, it might feel very low. So the trick here is to harness that energy, but to also store it, if that's a good metaphor for you. To use something like as a battery, as a storage, to use it for later. 7 of Pentacles is really having a very discerning use of resources, and not wasting. It's not a wasteful way of using resources. So don't waste time, don't waste opportunities, but also don't waste your emotions on something. Don't waste your vitality on something. Just use just the right amount, although you have that enthusiasm. So I feel like you can harness it for many other purposes. 8 of Swords with interference. Okay. And the Eight of Cups. And this is like depression. I feel like there's like some kind of overhyping of something, and you need to be careful about the lows, about where it is undone, how it is undone, and where it is undone. So this advice here is to kind of find a middle or a way to store it. Okay, how can you store this energy? How can you channel it? Seven of Swords. So it's like it's better to prepare for a situation where you're not facing things directly. You're not facing the situation in an open conflict, like, like an open war. And to try to avoid that as much as you can, because if you use that energy, that impulse of creation to avoid conflict, but still solve the situation, being strategic, diplomatic, and cunning, if you do that, I think that you will have a better result. You get better results because this is about also harvesting what you have planted. And if you are, we have a saying here in where I'm from that goes something like this: if you sow winds, you will harvest storms. So it's a bit like that. So if you're trying to shake things up, but if you do it in a diplomatic, strategic way, you will also get what you have put into that. You will also get a softer answer. You will get better solutions, more comfortable probably. But you have arrived here because you had the initiative, because you had the intuition, and you followed it with action, and you've worked for it. It doesn't mean that you're not working for it anymore if you're being strategic, if you're not just bulldozing, through the situation. And I feel like you'll also make a lot of friends. You'll make more friends, and you have more allies if you're softer, because you're in control of your emotions, because you're not just rage, doing things out of rage or out of, because there is some kind of revenge or making things right. There is some kind of justice that you're seeking, and it is something that you are entitled to. I don't think that that's in question here. It's just the way you do it, because if you negotiate things and if you're able to sit down and to have a dialogue with your emotions in check, you will get the victory that you want against all the odds. It's all about smarts. It's all about intellectual work also here. And maybe that's not what you desire. It's not. I guess that you might think that that's a kind of a defeat, or that's allowing the other party, the other side, to win if you're softer. But find a way to channel the energy in this way so that you're satisfied with it. Maybe like channeling that energy towards the intellectual pursuit of the solutions. So having the right words, having the right descriptions, the right numbers, the right documents, that's also a part of your victory here. It might be it might not be the first choice, let's say, your first choice of action. Like you just want to go there with the thing that you already hold in your hand, and you want to go there and you want to just, kick the door and just, here is the proof, I am, the victor in this, I deserve this. So you're not allowed to do whatever you were doing anymore because now I am in charge, or there's something, a bit abrupt like that. But that energy is still going to happen, though. That picture is still going to happen. It's just the way that it spreads across time, and the way that it's distributed is different, and it's not going to take longer. It's just the way that it flows is much more harmonious and balanced and elegant and sophisticated. It's not a brute force situation. It doesn't require that, and it will also, if you do that, it will also create this like high, like adrenaline high, that will also create a crash afterwards. So if you try to kind of distribute the weight of this and the power of this, it's more harmonious. It's a more harmonious picture for you. Okay. Yeah, very interesting. This eclipse is seems like it's changing the mood for you, giving you the opportunity to see other paths forward and changing the mood. It can also come in not right now maybe, but in the future, as a bit of a relief, like, okay, so I can do things, in a calmer way. So, because in a way we search for that thrill. We want the thrill sometimes. We want that adrenaline. Like, I want the motivation to go forward, and I like ramp up, the rage, or I talk about it all the time, or I'm like, this, this situation is driving me mad. I want to take care of this. Like, I'm kind of increasing, this, it's like a loop that I'm closing, and it keeps increasing and increasing, and sometimes it just becomes something uncontrollable, or it just bursts and it's not useful. And it's also creating, it might also not allow you to see solutions that are very, very real, that are very concrete, and that will also increase other aspects in your life. For instance, trust and friendship and diplomatic ties, helpful people around you, more information that maybe is not directly related to the situation, but that will end up, enhancing your life. It creates goodwill, okay, in other people. But it seems like you're being tasked with something, and you have a lot of ideas, you have a lot of strategies. You'll listen to people, you will see, you will learn, you will study, and you should continue to focus on that intellectual endeavor, and not give in to like rage, or like very instant, not give in to the emotional side of this, because I think that it can be overwhelming. So to be more like the high priestess, like more on the, like below the surface, having that richness that is below the surface, but that is also taking you forward smoothly and gently, not slowly, but smoothly and gently. It's better overall for you, for your well-being, and for your future plans too. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again. very soon. Bye.